At the time, I was working as a pianist in DBP, and it was also I would frequent the UP College of Music. Even though I was at College of Business Ad, BA ako BSBA. No, major in accounting. Yeah, BSBA, major in accounting. That was, I entered UP, yun ang aking major.
Because required?
No.
Kasi sila ni mother.
No, because I had to look for a
real job. So you're good with numbers also, Mr. C.
What?
You're also good with numbers.
I don't think so.
You have to beat the...
Maybe. I know. I mean, I can imagine. I don't have to compute, but I can imagine. I can project the numbers. But yeah, malapit doon. I can do that. Now, what is important to note is that I hang out in the UP College of Music. I was a groupie of the UP Concert Chorus, the Madrigal Singers. I was a big fan of Raul Sonico. I'd follow him around. I'd watch his concerts, kasi free concerts. No? These are, in UP. I was that type. I was a hangers on. And then one time, OA Veneracion, Andre Veneracion, who's a national artist, told me, why don't you, because he heard my arrangements, why don't you write some arrangements for us? We have a pop concert. So I wrote some arrangements for the UP Madrigal Singers. And then she said, oh, why don't you train with us? You're doing this, sing with us. So I trained with them. I was with people like sila Noel Velasco, all these original members of the Philippine Madrigal Singers. And then, in 1972, the Madrigal Singers were hired together with the Manila Symphony Orchestra, Manila Symphony Society, and the Karilagan of Tita Conching Sunico. They put up a concert entitled, and Repertory Philippines. That's how I got into all this. They put up a concert entitled Best of Broadway, directed by Bebot Amador. So I met all of these guys from theater. Baby Barredo, Cocoy Laurel was the star of that show. Basta beautiful music for me. They did Camelot, they did Fair Lady, and in the end they did Aquarius. And Cocoy did, he danced and he sang. I was in the pit, in pit chorus, because I was, I was not a member of the MADS yet. So, trainee ako, so pit chorus ako. Actually, not in the pit, but alam mo yung sa side ng na CCP, doon sa nagtatago doon sa side niya. Doon kami singing the chorus, etc. What happened then was, every time we had rehearsals, I'd be at the CCP very early. From school, I'd rush to CCP kasi gusto ko yung rehearsal. 6 p.m., 4 p.m. na doon ako. But I was there in the orchestra pit. There was a piano, the grand piano there. And I had the entire CCP main theater to myself.
Kasi maaga ka.
Kasi aga ko. And madilim. And I would play on the piano and play all the music that I want. Not too classical because I was not into it. But I'd play a lot of popular music. And then, Cocoy would come early and hear me. Sabi niya, oh, and he'd come to the pit all the time and say, and always find me there. Until such time he would ask me, do you know this song? Blah, blah, blah. Sige, let's sing. We were jamming there every afternoon. And then he would teach me some songs. Ito. He would play the piano.
Kasi he plays also.
And because he played piano. And he sings. And so I struck a very nice friendship with Cocoy. He was a star of the show. So I was so starstruck with this guy. So starstruck. And so he one time he invited me, why don't you come to the house, we have a party, can you play blah blah blah, can you play for me, I'll sing blah 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 blah. So I went to their house in 515 Shaw Boulevard. 515 or 555, I can't, it's a long time ago. And then after doing that so many times, he said, why don't you stay here in our house and you accompany me in all the shows, and maybe if you can write the arrangements for me, can you do that? Then Tita Celia asked me, oh, can you do that? Blah 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 blah. I said, I'm so excited, no? But I didn't know it was a job. I said I just wanted to do it because, wow, maybe the star. I'm playing for a big star. It was like I was so badoy na basta. I really think that I really think that playing for I was a big fan and I was playing for him and it was so eventful for me.
How old were you then, Mr. C?
17.
17.
We did 17, 18.
How old was Cocoy?
He's a little bit older.
He's about 2 years older than me.
Okay, and then
2, 3, I don't know.
so you stayed in their house and
I
started
stayed in their
arrangements.
house, and my father allowed me to stay in their house. Okay, why? Why did I stay in their house? Because sometimes the performances were in the morning. So if I went home, I usually go home every night. And you know, taxi was only like what, 9 pesos from Shaw Boulevard all the way to UP Villages where I live.
So how did it lead up to a career? Because it's Vice President Laurel who gave you a career.
Yes, yes.
So can we go into that story?
Right. It went on and on. I did a film with him. I did his concert. He did a big concert in Morocco, and then he did a big concert at the
I saw the one in Araneta.
Araneta.
And that was the first time I had heard of you.
Cocoy Live is the title.
Yes, I remember.
Oh, I have the
I saw that concert. No,
I have the
he had a live
program.
concert in Araneta, Cocoy, and that was the first time this genius touted to be a young genius of a man,
Oh, wow.
Ryan Cayabyab.
May ganun na
That was,
talaga?
pinag-uusapan ka na nun.
Serious?
That's why before I had even met you, I was already, and he was this tall, lanky guy.
Right.
But they were already talking about how this genius of a. I saw that concert.
Yeah. So I was 17, 18, and I was already doing arrangements and doing concerts. But of course, you must remember that on the side, I was working with Nonong Pedero. He was the one of the top also jingle makers, together with like Jomli Chan and the older ones, the older generation. He would hire me also to do. You know, I didn't know that was a job, because I just did what they asked me to do, and they give me a check or give me cash, and I said, may bayad yun.
To be an arranger.
Yeah, I was always thinking, may bayad pala yun. So when Tita Celia's issued me a 50 peso check for arrangement or something, I was looking at it and I was saying, wow, I'm rich. I have money. Because I didn't think it was a job. It was something like...
At 17, you were having fun.
Yeah, because because I already had my job as a pianist for DVD, right? So I was thinking, this is not a job. This was something fun and I liked doing.
Yes.
But then it was an additional. All right.
How do we go to
One
VP
day,
Laurel?
one day he calls me to his office. So we had already established the relationship. I was his music director, and I was playing for him for Cocoy, and I was doing everything, all the kind of music. He calls me to his office in 515 Shaw Boulevard, not in Makati or where. He has his office there, and he also has his other office somewhere. He calls me to his office, kami lang dalawa. And then he says, I'd like to talk with you, Ryan, sabi niya. Sip. He called me Sip eh. We had established already a very good relationship. Like I was part of the family. You must understand that I eat with them.
Yeah.
I have breakfast with them. And I sleep there in their house, and they see me in sando, and they see me in pajama, in shorts, etc. Like I see them also in the same way. Like I go to Lini's room, and we talk, and she's in her shorts, etc. I mean, it's like I was really treated like I was part of the family. So when Tito Doy called me to her room, to his office, he said, "Okay, I'd like to talk with you." Sabi niya ganon. Why are you taking up accounting? He said. Why are you taking up accounting? Don't you think you should take up music? You have a talent. So I had to tell him the story. You see, before my mother died, she told my blah blah. So that's the story. And then he said, "Okay, you know what, Ryan? No, Sip. You know what, Sip? All of us have different roles in our community," sabi niya. Like for example, the labandera. Why do you think if a labandera is good, why do you feel so good when you wear clothes in the morning? You go to school, you have nicely pressed shirts, and they smell good. It makes you feel good, right? Sabi niya ganon. Yeah. Well, that's a work of a good lavandera. So, her work affects the people who wear the clothes that she irons and launders. So, alam mo, at 18 years old, I was going, where is this going? Parang, what? Oh, and so, parang feeling ko, okay, fine. And then he goes on and says, like also the janitor, something like that. If he does his job well, diba, you go to the school and you see the chairs are all lined up and it looks good, you feel good. And the floor is shiny, there's no garbage. And then the garden, it looks so good because it's all trimmed and blah blah blah. Anyway, he was explaining that's the job of that janitor. And you know what? When they do their jobs well, they affect people, and when they are the best in what they're doing, that's their contribution to society, and that's it. People will look up to them because they do their jobs well. So hindi ko pa nakita yung continuation nun. Ang sabi niya, you're a musician. Sorry.
Mr. C. Paolo Valenciano. Have you met Wink like the mayor?
Hindi, video to.
Video.
First vlog. Hello.
First buyer, first male buyer. And me. We're doing the big interview of his story.
All this big talk went into, you're a good musician. All you need to do to be the best is, number one, you know what you need to do. You have to be the best in what you're doing. Yeah. And to be the best in what you're doing, you have to learn everything about it. That was one of the most important things. You have to learn everything about what you're doing. And next is, you have to strive to be an authority in what you're doing.
Yeah.
And if you're...
Tayo lahat yan, guys!
And then, you know what he said? Because if you're the best and you're the authority in what you're doing, your life is made. Hindi ka na maghahanap ng jobs. The jobs will look for you. You know, that particular night was like okay, this is my forever learning. It was like my mantra. That's why whenever somebody tells me, is there anything that you want to tell, blah, 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 well, you have to be the best. And to be the best, you have to be an authority.
That's what you say in camp, yeah.
Because you know, if you're an authority, you don't need to look for a job. Jobs will come looking for you. So anyway, this is the end story. He says, now go home tonight, tell your dad that Senator and Mrs. Laurel are offering you a scholarship in music, any school of your choice.
Wow.
And I wanted to go to Juilliard.
Oh, and then, why not? Bakit hindi nangyari?
Hindi nangyari because nagka-martial law. Kasi, di ba, there was like, bawal umalis muna yung mga tao or something like that.
Oh, may travel ban of some sort.
And of course, you know.
This is 1972,
Yes. And of course, remember it's, they're a political family, so
yes, of course.
Mahirap ang ano. And they had to, of course, they have to, syempre, take care of themselves first. So, so that's it. I went home that night. My father opened the door for me, and he says, and I told him what but I told him, Dad, the family of Cocoy, they're offering a scholarship in music for me. Can I go to music? Can I shift to music?
Yeah.
Then my dad said, antok-antok siya kasi it's like 12 o'clock in the evening. Or he asks me, ilan taong ka na ba? Sabi niya gano'n. 18 na ho, sabi niya gano'n. You're old enough to decide for yourself, sabi niya gano'n. So, di ba? parang script, you're old enough to decide for yourself.
Heavens open.
Okay, so anyway, that second sem, I enrolled in the UP College of Music.
Nag-drop out ka na sa accounting?
Yes, nag-drop out na.
This was 72.
72.
Pause.
Wait.
Okay.
This was in 73, sorry.
73.
73 was when I went to the UP College of Music.
When you shifted.
Okay, alright.
But, how old was I in 72? 18, yeah. I was 18 years old in 72. I think I had to finish first what I had to finish in the, and then later that year in 73, that's when I shifted. Yeah.
So how does Kelly come into the picture?
Kelly's Lola was, I think, the dean.
The dean when I got
music.
into the College of Music. Si Dean Mangahas.
Yeah, and then she's the, what is she? She's the first cousin of FPJ, or
Because she's a Kelly.
So she's the Lola of Kelly.
Yes, kasi
Ronan Kelly.
yes, because she is the sister of FPJ's mom. Sorry. The mom of FPJ and Ruby Kelly, they're sisters.
And a lot of our musicians are Uido until now and already working.
Yeah.
What is the value of learning talaga formally? Why is it important?
Very. Music literacy is very, very important. A lot of musicians who go abroad and work seem to think na hindi na nila kailangan mag-aral not formally or informally, but they have to be music literates. I will tell you a story. A friend of ours, June, has a guitar teacher. He plays in the ship, and he's middle age, maybe 40 plus, and he says he plays solo guitar, and then when asked, are you paid well? Yeah, I'm okay. But you know what? These young graduates from music schools who know how to read, who know how to read and play when at first sight, read at first sight, they make more money than me. That was what the musician said. And so our friend said, why? Because they can play anything. They can play anything. For example, they can be part of a band that will play for a star, a guest singer. And they don't have, and the time for rehearsals, they will only rehearse it once. That's all that's needed. Why is it important for us to be musically literate? It's because we have better better opportunities. We can have higher fees because we can do better things. Being a music literate musician. But not only that, you know, Odi, I think all our theater people who are singers, they should learn how to read.
Tama. Guilty. I'm guilty.
Because reading, the learning curve of any song that they will, have to study is so fast. Mabilis, ang bilis. Everybody learns fast, and that's what. And it's a standard, World standard is you must be music literate.
Yeah. I guess maybe one fear that most people do now, they really play already, is mahihirapan sila. Is it hard to learn if you're cifra or you're arwido to learn to read?
It is. It is a. They have to hurdle a stage.
Kasi nasanay na sila sa, for example, sa finger work that's on their own.
Yes, I'm giving an example would be somebody as brilliant as what's my inaanak? South Border.
Jay
Durias.
Yes.
Oh my God, I've never seen or heard anyone so good as Jay Durias. But you know what? He can have. People can line up, you have a mile-long line waiting for probably a Jay Durias to be their music director. If only he can read and write.
So what's keeping him? Is it the fear? Is it the...
It could be a fear of... Actually, it's wrong. The fear of losing that feel, or that fear of losing.
It's a shift. Parang you feel like your mind will shift. Maybe from being so fluid to suddenly become one. You're going to think about, it's gotta be like this, it's gotta be like that.
Exactly.
You have to unlearn. A lot of
exactly.
Do great jazz, for example, jazz musicians are always all about improv, but they read notes, don't they?
Well, not all of them.
Okay.
That's why. How can I say this? There's a specific place for people extremely talented without the music literacy backing them up. There's a special place for them. Meaning, they're a brand on their own kasi they don't have to learn. I'm good at it But Odi, they have to really be so good at it. And I would say Jay Durias is one of them.
Okay.
But I would also say that the type of music or the type of jobs that you should offer Jay would be solo piano, solo performance, and maybe composition, writing songs, which he does anyway.
Right.
But he will not be able to compete, and he knows this, with people like sila Marvin, Chorido, Louis, who write arrangements, that's why sila ang go-to ng industry, because they submit written music, which is what is used as a standard. Okay, so I'm not putting down Jay, because I really think he's again one of those very special talents.
If I can just add, I remember having this conversation with Indo Maguete when we got trapped.
Yeah.
Remember? And I remember Gerard Salonga bringing up a really interesting point, which was everybody should learn how to read and write music, because for people who create music, it's also the best way to preserve it the way you intended it to be.
Also,
that's why Beethoven and all the classical stuff stay, because it never changed with how they envisioned it, how they heard it. Unlike, let's say, you know how you can write your
it's
songs
written down
the way
it
you
is.
want. But let's say, let's say Paolo's dad, Gary, doesn't know how. So he can do it in the computer now and everything, but
right. But
if you never get to hear the music the way he intended it to be.
yes, but right
And
now
it's
also,
what
but right now they could hire somebody. If you
To make
already
cifra.
somebody like Gary Valenciano who has the means, then he can hire
I mean,
somebody to write it.
Just generally, a musician be good.
Yes,
if you could.
for me, I'm talking about this in a general sense, because you get better job opportunities if you are literate.
Also, if you're a
music
musical director, it's easier for you to write piezas that session artists can
And you
follow.
Play.
Otherwise, you're stuck with also people who are oído.
yeah, can you imagine how
Yes, you must.
long it's gonna
Mon
take?
Faustino's another genius.
That's why, yeah, Simon only can work
Can only work
Gary.
with limitado sa. Well, para walang namati dito na musician. Okay, like me, talk to me, Mr. C. I'm a musical theater actor. Ang tagal-tagal ko na sa industriya. What do I need to learn to read music? Is it what kind of course?
It's yours. It's just a solfeggio course.
Solfeggio lang, okay.
Yeah.
So all
because you don't need to write. You're not
Yeah.
going to write.
So
It's
just to read.
Reading.
So all theater people should learn this.
Yeah, and if you want, we can put a class just for theater
Sige.
people,
Sorry,
just for
nag-open.
reading.
Pwede, Mr. C, arrange
nako.
natin yan.
We've always
I'll
wanted
do
to
it
do
under
something like
Phil
that.
Station. We'll go to your studio. Pwede,
Yeah.
we can arrange it.
Ako muna magtuturo because I want to
O lahat ng mga
to tell you.